morning, Spain. How lovely to have you with us once again here from our studio at Hard Rock Hotel, Marbella. We're going to be talking about zoos, saints' days, summer scams, how to improve our eyesight. Of course, we'll also be traveling and a new simplified Spanish recipe with Chef Nick. Good morning, Spain. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
What a beautiful day. And just 1 week left of the Football World Cup. Amazing how quickly it's gone through. And we thought before it finishes, it would be an absolute shame if the British people or the people who watch the program in English and from an English channel actually watch at least one program with a Spanish commentator.
Yeah.
Because it's another world. I mean, what a difference. Have you been watching the games?
Yeah.
I mean, I know you have. I mean, you're an avid football fan.
Yeah, I love it.
But it is just so funny when you see this English commentators and it's like, and Johnny's got the ball and it's in the middle. Goal! And then the Spanish is like, it also, are you watching a racing, horse racing? There's the guy's coming and he's doing this, and then the goal.
It's really exciting.
It's so exciting.
Even if you don't understand it, you still get excited.
Yeah,
The
I've seen a lot of
Definitely.
American people from the social media that have signed up to the football package and not realised that they signed up in Spanish.
Oh.
And there's one guy particularly, and he was like how upset and angry he was because this, how am I going to understand what's going on? Anyway, he suddenly realised that actually he could make out what was going on and the excitement of the Spanish. So even if you're watching alone, you're up in your lounge and you're giving it. Really is absolutely worth it.
I have to say, kudos to any sports commentator, particularly the football. I had a go once, and it's impossibly difficult. So it was in Malaga in the football stadium, and a friend of mine was commentating, and he said, "Hannah, come and have a go." So it was in half time. So I was trying to be prepared. I said, okay, so what's happened in the first half? So and so was sent off. So and so scored a goal. So I'm writing down bits of information to kind of summarise when we came back. And I said, just one question: how do you know who you're watching? And he said, well, they've got their names on the back of the shirts. I'm like, I know that, but when they're running towards you and you can't see the back of their shirt, how do you know? And he's like, well, you just get used to it. And I'm like, well, great. Well, I'm not used to it.
That is hilarious.
So I was literally going, a Malaga player's got the ball, and he missed. And it was really embarrassing. I did it for about 5 minutes and was like, okay, I'm done. It's so difficult.
It just goes to show it's like
such
anything,
a
isn't
skill.
it? You have to know what you're doing. If you do something well, it really does make a big difference. But as I say, not that the English don't do it well. I'm not saying that at all.
Still
just
different.
But it's a whole different thing. And I remember when I was listening to Spain playing, and I was just listening on my phone while I was walking. But again, the excitement, I was in a whole party all on my own.
Yeah.
So I do highly recommend that at least one game watch it with the Spanish commentator.
Yeah, they crack jokes, everything. I don't know how they look at the players and crack jokes and know when I
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's so
And
quickly.
absolute art. Anyway, goal!
It's like they need to take so much air just to say the goal bit though, isn't it?
It's impressive. Yeah, it's like holding a note, singing for a long time. It's really impressive.
I can't remember the guy's name, and I should, but there was one man who was really, really passed away not too long ago, but he was really, really famous for this go, 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 go.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And once you start listening to it, then if you go back to the English commentary, you really are like, oh, it's a bit dull.
Yeah.
Because it's just not as exciting.
It's like they're obviously doing something else at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Make my day. Make my day.
Absolutely delighted to welcome to the program Dr Miguel Viso. He's from Clinica Baviera that specialise in eyes. Laser surgery, I think, is your main thing, isn't it? Dr. Miguel, good morning.
Good morning. It's a
Lovely
pleasure,
to
thank you.
welcome you. And it's funny talking about laser surgery. Both Kate and Hannah have both had laser surgery.
Yeah.
So
I can
amazing.
see.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's amazing.
I mean, it's quite curious because I'm lucky I have good eyesight.
Yeah.
And even when I visited your clinics, I know that when we were doing interviews and chatting, I had the eye test done on me, and I think actually the doctor who did the eye test was blown away that at my age, that I actually are okay. And he was looking like,
amazing.
well, your eyesight.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
like, wasn't expecting that. So close up, I do find that I have a little bit of difficulty. but I can take a picture, I can enlarge it. For me at the moment, it's not the end of the world, but I realized that if it was for farsight, then that would be a serious problem, and I would always have to have glasses. So through that, I appreciate that having laser surgery and being like you two, maybe not being able to see and not having to worry about glasses is a big plus. Is that the main reason, Miguel, that people come for laser surgery, for not using glasses?
Yeah, mainly yes. Well, we have a lot of different kind of patients, but yeah, mainly young people with the fact that they are not able to see without their contact lenses or their glasses. Yeah, I would say is the main issue to come to visit us. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like I don't know about you, Hannah, but like for example, I would not be able to see anyone if they were across the road from me. It was so bad, and it to the point it was actually just so embarrassing, because I think that everyone must have thought I was so rude, and I was like, I just generally cannot see you.
So what did you do? Did you wear glasses? Did you wear contacts? How did you, until you had the surgery, how did you go?
I wore glasses, and then I remember I was doing a project for work, and I needed to be like taking them off and run, and I just remember it was a nightmare. And I think from that moment, I was just like, do you know what, if I can do it? And my mum had had it done.
Okay.
And so I think that made me feel a lot more kind of more settled about it, because obviously it is a bit of a scary thing, because you think, oh my God, if something does go wrong, they're my eyes. And she was like, no, Kate, it was amazing. The only thing that she felt that it was like itchy onions and like, or something like that, and her eyes were watering them.
Or so,
yeah. But in all honesty, I don't know about you, Hannah, but I generally had the best experience.
Yeah,
and
really.
when you went to have it done, what was your instigator?
Yeah, so mine was far distant, so I couldn't read road signs, or even the television was blurry.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wore glasses for a very short space of time, and then I wore contacts. And I never got on with contacts. I always found them really difficult to put in, and sometimes friends had to do it for me, and it was just a bit of a nightmare, really. And yeah, having the laser eye surgery, it's done so quickly, and afterwards you have to go home and sleep in a darkened room. And I remember going home, sleeping, waking up, going into the lounge where my friend was watching television, and I was still a little bit sleepy, and I stood in the doorway and went, I can see the television! It was amazing! I'll never forget that feeling. It was incredible. And it's an absolute life changer.
I don't think people can imagine the life-changing it is. Clinica Baviera, I've been living in Madrid I've been in Spain for 40 plus years. I've seen the name Clinica Baviera for decades. I mean, we're a well-established clinic. And I imagine that even you as specialists, since when Hannah had hers done 10 years ago to now, one would assume that technology has improved immensely since then.
Yeah, of course. It's improved a lot, but our aim is exactly the same. It's to improve quality of life as you have experienced. And yes, even though things change, for us, the patient has to be always in the center. So no matter what the problem they have, we are there to listen to them, to understand them, and to get to the treatment that they need. So yeah, that's our aim.
Because I imagine everybody does require, it depends if you're a golfer or of what kind of lifestyle you have, I imagine.
Yeah, of course. That's what we see normally in the first visit. We spend a lot of time asking for the needs of the patient, studying properly with a lot of non-invasive tests as you experienced, like no pain at all in the consultation. And then we get to choose the adequate treatment. Normally those are 10 minutes treatments for both eyes that are painless surgeries.
10 minutes?
Yeah.
It's so quick.
I mean, it doesn't sound possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is.
Because I would think if you don't know anything about it, you were envisioning, I don't know what one would envision.
I mean, the idea of it is, when you describe it, and when you it's something you have to get your head around. And I remember thinking a lot of it is mind over matter. So it doesn't hurt, for one thing. You're not in pain because I had a tablet, I remember. So you're awake, but you don't feel anything. So it doesn't hurt at all, which is obviously the main thing. But you have to, if you let your mind freak out, if you're one of those people that panics in situations, you need to not do that, basically, because the reality of what's happening, you could easily allow yourself to freak out. You need to calm yourself and know that you're in good hands.
To be nervous when you don't know what you are going to have. But that's where we are,
And that's why we're
our
talking
job.
about it
to
now.
explain
Because I think a lot of
everything
things
and-
we
yeah.
don't know. Even with Kate, we've got all the exercise machines in the park to show you how it's done.
Yeah.
Because anything can be scary when you don't know what it is. And as you say, when it's your eyes, it's a very big deal.
Yeah.
Hannah and Kate had the surgery for far vision.
Yeah, that's it.
But what happens when Hannah was mentioning that maybe now also needed for near vision?
Yes.
There is such a thing as progressive lenses that
Yeah.
have far and near. Can you do that
Yeah, of
also
course.
with the
Normally,
with the surgery?
when we get to 45, 50, it depends a little bit. We start with presbyopia. Okay, presbyopia is the fact that
That's
we
presbythia, I
are
think.
presbyopia, in Spanish. Yes, is the inability to focus properly at short distances. That's something that always happens with times, with certain exceptions. Okay, but normally happens.
I
with
do
time.
have something.
Yeah.
It was like a 0.075. There's something
Okay,
there.
okay. So when we get to that point, our lens, that is a part of the eye, start to get hard, and it can't focus properly anymore. It's a bit like the autofocus of the eye. So it starts to work a bit worse. Okay, so when we get to that point, we have a very good solution. That the good thing is that it's a life-changing solution, and it lasts for life. Okay, that is trifocal lenses. Okay, it's the lens replacement surgery that we are doing a lot now. It's also a 10 minutes procedure without any kind of pain, and with a very good recovery. And with those lenses, you are able to focus all the distances again. Like
Do you have to learn the same with progressive? Do you have to learn how to look through it, or is it different?
No, I would say it's much easier. Okay, because in the progressive lenses, it's true that when you are going down the stairs and things like that, it's not very good. But with these lenses, it's a bit like recovering 10 years from your life. So you don't really need that kind of adjustment. So it's something that maybe in 2 or 3 days you're ready to go to do your normal life. So
We underestimate the importance of our eyes, don't we?
Oh,
We really do.
completely.
I think sometimes we don't know that we're losing sight. And that's something that's strange. We don't realise we can't see it until, for example, like one day at your quiz, and one of my teammates let me at the glasses, like, oh my God, there are words on the page.
Yes.
it's
It is
worse
when
than
you
I
when you
think.
when you see, you realise how bad the seeing was before.
Yeah.
It's
That's
Are
super
there
strange.
physical symptoms, for example, that someone who doesn't realise, let's say like I didn't realise because I don't need it, it's not life-threatening that I can see the menu or I can't as much. But are there symptoms, for example, being dizzy, or are the things that people would realise that are actually coming from their eyesight? Maybe?
If you feel that you start pulling a bit further,
Yeah, long
or
arms are
maybe
long enough.
squinting a
You see
bit.
people
Those
at
are
menus
like
all the time.
those are the
So
early
that's me
symptoms.
now.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah,
put
yeah.
it further away.
Yeah.
Those are mainly the early symptoms. But but also with time, sometimes light can bother a little bit more. Also, you start to get wrinkles in that area because you are squinting all the time. So
Yeah.
Well, that's a good reason.
Yeah,
to get
yeah.
your- Just don't stop
Exactly.
wrinkles.
Yeah,
Forget the cream. Just get laser eye surgery.
But also, I think
Yeah.
you do, like, what happens though, people have like macular degeneration, all these type of things. Are there treatments for this type of thing now as well?
Yeah, of course. Look, Baviera is like a very good big group. Okay, we have clinics. We have more than 200 clinics. Okay, we are a group of doctors, of 5 doctors. We work all together. It's not like a franchise or anything. So we have clinics in Germany, in England, where it's Optimax, in Spain, in Italy, in Austria. Okay, in Spain it's a big group. We have like 80 clinics in the whole of Spain. And even though myself, I'm specialized on presbyopia, on laser, we have a wide range of specialization in all the
Everything
areas
to
of
do
the
with
eye.
the eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
wow.
it. So normally we can have solutions for almost any problem in the eye. Okay.
Well, I have to say, I've been seeing the name Baviera since, as I say, years back in Madrid.
Yeah.
And the way I see it is, if you're a big clinic, you're still there. You've got all those years of experience, the novelties in the technology. Any mistakes that were going to happen have happened.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you've now got the experience. So for me, it's like every day it's more reason to believe in it, because
Definitely.
it's like it's not so
Yeah.
new now. It's 10 years since you had
And,
it.
and how many people have heard? Sorry, but how many people have heard a horror story of laser
Very
eye
few.
surgery
Yeah,
going
very
wrong?
few.
I've never heard of that.
No,
You know
to
what I
be
mean? And it's
honest.
happening every day all over the world. It's a common procedure that
Yeah.
As
thousands
long
of
as you
people
use
have had.
a specialised
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
especially.
Sometimes I do know that we tend to go to the cheap because it sounds like it's a good deal.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about your eyes,
Your
do
eye.
not
your
go any
health,
route.
you shouldn't
Yeah.
compromise.
Exactly.
Check,
No.
just check where you're going, and really,
Yeah.
you know, that's very important to go to
Yeah.
qualified, specialised doctors
Definitely.
Exactly.
who show their face.
Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
I know. And what about someone, for example, who has had surgery before?
Yes.
And, you know, obviously the years go on, the eyes kind of get worse.
Yes.
Could they have it again, or is it a
Yeah.
one-time process?
No, of course. Look, once that we had laser surgery, it's really, really, really rare that we have short-sightedness again or something like that.
Yeah.
But as we are humans,
But
it's
more, for example,
biology.
say Hannah, if she wanted to
Yeah.
get the short and long distance.
Yeah, yeah,
Would
yeah.
that be a simple procedure?
That
Yeah.
would be a super simple procedure. In fact,
Okay.
it's not a problem, for example, if you had laser surgery, to have a lens replacement surgery when you are a bit older, maybe when you are in your 50s.
Yeah.
So if you had surgery in your 20s, in your 30s for short-sightedness, then you can have it no matter what. It's going to be the same as a patient who didn't have it. So yeah, of course, that's
really
not a
good
problem.
to know, though, isn't it? I think I don't know about you, but I think maybe that is something that does come up quite a few times, doesn't it? To be like, oh, if you have it done, could you have it done like years later?
Exactly, and to know
that's
whether you
good.
can change it, because now I need both prescriptions.
I remember when I had it done, one of my questions was, is this for life?
Yes.
Will this serve me for life?
Yes.
And they said pretty much what you said.
Yeah.
Normally, yes, but
Yes.
everybody's different. You might find in 10, 15, 20 years time
Yeah.
that your eyes start
Because there are so many
Yeah.
other factors as well.
Yeah.
The health of our eyes depends on so many factors.
Yeah.
That's why we have
definitely.
to personalize everything. So that's why always with international patients, when when we talk about health, we prefer to do it in your language so that we can understand your needs and to look what are your fears and to assess properly your case, so we can offer a personalized solution for each case.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's the
And if
idea.
anyone's
So
watching
good.
from abroad, you can contact the Clinica Bavieras and organise an online interview chat preliminary, so you don't have to fly here to do the first interview, then fly back. Because it's amazing how many people come to Spain to have medical surgeries
Yeah.
and treatments.
Yeah, it's really good.
So
though,
if you're
isn't
thinking
it?
about that, you can do an online, I understand,
of
chat
course.
first.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Wonderful. Any more questions, girls?
I don't think so. No, I'm just really impressed. So
Yeah.
for me, it was about 15 years ago, maybe slightly longer, that I had
Okay.
the laser eye surgery, and my eyes are, in terms of the distance,
Yes.
are just as good now as they were when I first
Wow.
had it done 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I've just been noticing only in the last few weeks, really, that up close I do some puzzles,
Yes.
and the writing is really, really small, and I've just been finding I'm going
You're
like this,
struggling.
like I can't see it. I haven't had an issue with menus or anything like that,
Yeah.
but just this really, really small
You're growing up,
writing.
Hannah.
I know, it's
Oh,
made me
bless her, I
I'm
know.
getting
Oh,
old,
bless
I might
her,
need
little Hannah's
glasses
growing
to
up.
read.
I know.
Watch this
Don't
space.
worry.
We will keep you informed of Hannah's program. Dr. Miguel Viso, thank you so much for joining us. If you have questions for the doctor, please do send them in. We'll pass them along and then we'll have him back on to answer them. Thank you very much. Anything you'd like to add before we go?
No, that's all. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to be here, and
thank
it's
you.
Lovely
fantastic
to
be
meet
here
you.
in this environment.
Oh,
Thank you so
wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
much. Okay, bye-bye.
Sometimes there are numbers that shape your life. Thousands of minutes putting in your contact lenses, hundreds of blurred memories, and many lost pairs of glasses. But there are also numbers that give you confidence. For more than 30 years at Baviera, we have performed 1 million treatments, 1 million reasons for a life without glasses. Baviera Ophthalmology Clinic.
Linear Director has come up with a squatter policy for just €24 a year. You don't have to have your home insurance with them. This is a completely separate matter to protect you from squatters. For more information, call 952 147834 or their website, lineardirector.com.
Make my day. Make my day.
one of the most emblematic and beautiful festivals in Spain is coming up on the 16th of July. It's the Virgen del Carmen, the Virgin of Carmen. It's a saint's day. It is the patron saint of the Spanish Armada and also the namesake of our lovely Lily Carmen.
Lily Carmen.
Lily
Even
Carmen,
more special.
which is a very funny thing. Before we actually talk about the festivities,
Yeah.
the saints' days in Spain are very, very important. Every single day has a corresponding saint.
Yeah.
And initially, you were called after your patron saint.
This is what I didn't realise, because obviously in Spain it's a massive thing, your Saint Day, and I knew this, but I didn't realise the reason was because they used to name their kid after the day they were born in.
Yeah.
Like that, it's so clever, but it makes complete sense.
It does make complete sense. I've always known that the Saints' Day is as important, if not more important, than a birthday. It's taken very, very seriously, which is something that is very different for us, I suppose, because we're just not used to it.
No, there's no Saint Hannah or Saint Kate.
I've never heard of a Saint Nicole, but there probably is.
Really?
Yeah.
There's probably a Santa Caterina or a Hannalina or something.
Yeah. One of those.
But the Virgen del Carmen is a fabulous celebration. It's the patron saint of fishermen, of sailors, of the Navy. It is...
Any coastal area.
Yeah, all the coastal areas
Lovely.
really go to town. I think the very first celebration was in Euskadi, in the north of Spain. But it's very big, as you say, in coastal areas, and you will see processions of the Virgin being carried on these enormous ornate floats. The whole town is out and about, and then these floats are carried from the church all the way down to the boats, and then they're loaded on the boats, and then they sail all along the coastline.
It's so beautiful.
It's so lovely. And then you have all the local fishermen or people with yachts and sailboats joining in. So you were from is it 6, 7 in the evening when it normally starts?
And it's non-stop. Seas full of boats, as you said.
Really?
And when they're taking her through the streets, everyone shouts, "Guapa! Guapa!"
It's funny because
It's a
actually when
lovely
people when they
celebration.
translate to it, "Hey, pretty,"
Yeah.
it's like, it really doesn't translate.
No, it's
Which
not the
hello,
same.
gorgeous or something. But
Yeah.
they tell you, "Hola, pretty," or like, "Papa."
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, but British people, I think, don't realise how important the Virgin is in the Catholic religion and within Spain.
Yeah.
And I think when you see this procession and go to this day and celebrate it yourself, you realise how celebrated and how loved she actually is. So,
I think a lot of the tourists actually don't even realise half these things are going on.
Yeah.
If you're not in the centre of town or where it's happening,
it.
Yeah.
and if you're living in
No.
your Geary lifestyle or you're very much in your own circuit,
Yeah.
you can actually not even realise it's going on. So the 16th of July, particularly say in a coastal area, this is happening.
Wow.
And you don't need to be religious to
No.
appreciate what's going on
No.
at all.
It's
You
so
don't-
visual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's just such a beautiful thing to see and appreciate what's going on, especially if you're not used to seeing it before. It's lovely to
I mean,
go and
Easter is
watch.
probably one of the most ornate ones.
Yeah.
But it's for a little bit scary at the same time. It's very solemn. There's a lot of chanting and there's a lot
Yeah.
of tristeza, sadness. There's a lot of
Yes,
lamenting.
exactly, yeah.
And this one is very ornate, but it's very joyous.
Yeah, so it's
so
a nice one.
lovely.
to
It
see.
really
Yeah.
is. It's a very joyous one, and everyone's celebrating, and it's a music and food always in any Spanish
And
celebration.
there's often moragas, so the barbecues on the beach within the boats afterwards, and people eat sardines and stuff. It's so much fun.
It really
wow.
is. So
That's
definitely
lovely.
something not to miss. 16th of July, Virgen del Carmen, patron saint of the Spanish Armada, and Lily.
Make my day. Make my day.
Hello and good morning, Spain. Today we're going to be making Gazpachos de cerezas, cherry gazpacho. This is a classic, bit of a twist, but they're so good at the moment, you will thank me later. Really easy recipe, so we're making pretty much a classic gazpacho and throwing in some lovely pipped cherries. So I've taken the time, just taken the stalk off, given them a wash, torn them in half and just taken out that seed. So they're going to go straight into the blender. Beautiful. In there, we're going to go with our classic ingredients. So lovely tomato, which I'm just going to take out the eye, chop up into pieces, just to help that blender along. Piece of green pepper, same again, just chop that into pieces, help that blender along. Now some people say green pepper, some people say red pepper, so I like to put in a little bit of both, and that way everyone is happy. Nice cucumber, just top and tail that. Have a peel, take out those seeds in the middle. And then we'll just give that a chop and straight in the blender as well. Straight into garlic. One piece to start with, and then if we want to add some more, we can add some more. A little bit more tomato, and then I think we're ready to start blending. Easy one this, bit of salt to start, bit of pepper, a little bit of vinegar, so Vinagre de Jerez is the one I'm using today, but you could just use white if you don't have it. A little splash of water, that's just going to help things move around a little bit when we first start blending. Let this run for a couple of minutes. That's going to blend everything away. Take the lid off, and we're slowly going to add some olive oil, just little bit by little, and it will start thickening up. Give this a little taste. Color is awesome. It's not far off. A little bit more salt. Touch more seasoning. With a little bit of olive oil, and we're there. Now, we could sieve this if you wanted to. You could now just put it in a jug, put it in the fridge, and you're ready to serve. I'm going to go straight away because we are starving in here. Beautiful. Easy one to finish this. Just a little bit of chives across the plate. Some of that lovely dressing. Cherry in the middle. And that is my cherry gazpacho. Let's get into this. It looks so refreshing. I mean, just a glass of this would do me all day long. Thank you very much, and good morning.
One of the most popular things to do during the summer holidays with the kids is to go to the zoo. Now, there's a lot of controversy in my world about zoos. My daughter trained to be more than just a vet, but how to run these parks, zoo parks and things like that. And in her idea was to know how they work so she could put the spanner in the right place to completely bring them down.
Yeah.
And I get that, having animals caged up in a zoo is quite horrific, and when you see these huge blue whales in these little tanks and things, I mean, it really is heartbreaking. However, let's just face the reality as it is. Since I was a little girl and I went, I think for the first time, I was at Chesterton Zoo near where I grew up. Anyway, there was a zoo that I went to, and I remember even then being very aware of this trapped feeling. So it is really lovely to see that there is a new focus on zoos. Particularly, I've noticed with the bioparks that opened up in Valencia, and then there's also one that's opened up in Andalusia, where they basically call themselves arcs of biodiversity.
Okay.
And as opposed to being places where you capture animals so we can see what's out there, they are more concentrating on saving endangered species, contributing to saving the endangered areas where the species have their natural habitat, and it's far much more on them living in enclosures that are as similar to their natural environment as is possible within the circumstances of where they are.
Yes, absolutely.
So there has been a big change.
It definitely has. It's well worth doing the research, because it is a lovely thing to be able to do, I think, to take your kids to see these animals. Not everyone is going to be able to afford to go to South Africa and go on a proper safari, which obviously I think a lot of people would love to do, but that costs quite a lot of money. So going to some kind of zoo to be able to see elephants and lions is an amazing experience for children. But yeah, do your research. Make sure you're going to the kind of zoo that is really more about the animal and the environment, as opposed to shoving it in a cage so we can all gawk at it. There's
exactly, otherwise you're supporting the wrong cause.
Exactly.
It's a step in the right direction, I reckon.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It definitely is. I mean, I know with my kids, when we lived in Madrid, we would go to the zoo in Madrid at least 3 times a month. At least.
Wow, really?
Because on a weekend, what do? So you go, you're walking, you're in nature, you can have your picnics. And with my grandchildren, we do the same. My kids have the bono, the subscription that you pay so that they can go frequently. A lot of the zoos now, or the different things, will do things in the summer, in the evenings as well, when it's cooler. So be careful with that. If you're going to one of these nature parks and you're going during the day, a lot of them are walking, and you have to be careful with the heat.
Yeah, in the evening is better.
When you mentioned the whales, and that was definitely something I thought of, all these kind of sea life centres. If you go anywhere that has a whale in a swimming pool that's doing a performing dance that you're watching and clapping, that is not okay. The animal does not want to be doing that. A whale doesn't live in a swimming pool. It lives in the ocean. You know what I mean? And whales aren't there to be jumping and catching balls and performing. That's, just think about what you're watching and why.
Exactly. I saw that was, I'm not sure where it was. I want to say the States, but they showed you the area that the whale was in was, say, the size of our set. And then the car park was the size of the whole of the Hard Rock Hotel.
God,
And you're looking at this aerial view, and it is so the wrong way round.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So the wrong way round. So obviously where we go will really make a difference of the places that do well and they don't. So as Hannah says, before you go, check it out. Do go, because these places, the right place, like the Bioparc in Valencia with its sister park, they really do focus on, as I say, helping endangered species, even having like babies born that are endangered.
And I must say, having been there, you do walk into the different ecosystems, and you feel it. Like, it's hot and it's humid in some places, it's hotter in others. Wow. And again, it's not ideal. You want all these animals in their natural habitats, but they're very well looked after.
Try.
Yeah, exactly. So at least if you see that they have something. It's
be aware of performing shows. If anywhere has performing shows, whether they've got monkeys or parrots or whatever that are doing some kind of performance or dance,
it's a red
not
light.
Normal.
Yeah,
it's a red flag. Red light. Absolutely.
Do your research.
Yes.
And have fun.
During my visit to Bioparc, I wanted to learn more about the role of modern zoos in wildlife conservation. One of the main messages I found was that keeping animals outside their natural habitats can only be justified if it contributes to conservation. The park's conservation work is based on 2 approaches: ex situ conservation and in situ conservation. ex situ conservation takes place within the park itself. This includes the care and management of animals as part of conservation programs designed to help protect endangered species. In situ conservation, on the other hand, takes place in the animals' natural habitats. Through the Bioparc Foundation, the park supports conservation projects in the countries where these species originate, helping to protect wildlife in the environment where it naturally lives. The aim is to not only protect individual species, but also to conserve entire habitats and ecosystems. As biodiversity continues to decline around the world, conservation strategies have evolved to focus on protecting the natural environments that support many different forms of life. Another important part of Bioparc's mission is education. The idea is that by allowing visitors to experience the beauty of nature and observe animals up close, people may develop a greater appreciation for wildlife and feel inspired to help protect it. During my visit, it was clear that animal welfare is presented as a key priority. The park highlights the work of the many people who care for the animals every day and who are committed to both their well-being and conservation. These are highly vocational roles, dedicated not only to caring for animals, but also serving society through conservation and education. The planet is facing increasing environmental challenges, particularly the rapid loss of biodiversity. Because of this, conservation can no longer focus only on individual species. Instead, protecting complete habitats and ecosystems has become increasingly important. At the same time, lasting conservation also depends on changing human behaviour. Modern zoological parks can play an important role by helping people reconnect with nature, especially at a time when many people have become increasingly disconnected from the natural world. Overall, my visit showed me that Bioparc presents itself not simply as a place to see animals, but as a conservation centre that combines work both inside the park and in natural habitats. Its message is that conservation, education and animal welfare should work together to help protect biodiversity for the future.
When you think of car or motorbike insurance, think Linea Directa. When you most need your insurance company, Linea Directa are there for you. With tow trucks, courtesy car, mechanics, legal advice, even overnight stay in a hotel if you need it. There's a whole department dedicated to us Brits with people who speak English there to help us. If you're looking for an insurance policy that really takes all your needs into consideration whilst you're driving in Spain, then Linea Directa really is the company for you. Why don't you give them a call? 952 14 78 34 or contact them online.
Make my day. Make my day.
Talking about zoos inspired me to have a look at some books about zoos, and I found some really, really good ones. The first one that I immediately thought of is I Bought a Zoo by Benjamin Mee. He's a former bricklayer and decorator who returned to education in his early 20s to investigate animal intelligence. He studied psychology at UCL and wrote his dissertation on dolphin intelligence. It was whilst living in France and writing a book on the evolution of humour in man and animals that the Dartmoor Zoological Park came up for sale. So this book is the true story of how he uprooted his family to the English countryside and purchased a dilapidated zoo home to more than 200 exotic animals, which he planned to refurbish and reopen as a family business, a scheme complicated by a lack of money, sceptical staff, family tension and his wife's devastating illness. This was made into a film in 2011 starring Matt Damon and Scarlett Johansson.
I got goosebumps. That was such a, it was a beautiful story.
Yeah, incredible
Got
story.
absolute goosebumps.
Oh, I love it. There's another one on the same kind of subject. It's brilliant. So good. I really, really recommend. If you love animals and just stories about families and real
Getting
people,
back to life.
nature. Really lovely. This next one is called Our Zoo. It's a memoir by June Mottershead. She was just 4 years old when her working class father George moved his family to Upton, 2 miles out of Chester, to begin the process of turning his dream into a reality. Chester Zoo came from a dream that he had nurtured since he was a boy, to build a zoo without bars. Chester Zoo is now counted among the top 10 zoos in the world, and with over 11,000 animals and 400 species, it is the most visited wildlife attraction in Britain. A great quote from the book is, "Until I brought friends back from school, I didn't realise that most people didn't have baby lions in their bedroom when they were sick, or bring parrots into the house so they wouldn't catch a cold." With no other children around to play with, June's friends became the animals. Her closest companion was an orphan chimpanzee, which she had hand-reared, and for 6 years the two were inseparable. June soon became the poster girl for Chester Zoo, and photographs of her cuddling lion cubs, headbutting a goat, or opening the beak of a pelican soon graced the front pages of British newspapers. She was 13 when war was declared in 1939, and with the backbone of the staff headed for the front, it fell to June to take over as head keeper. Keeping the zoo running while the war waged was no easy task. Despite rationing, the animals had to be fed, all of them, penguins, elephants, leopards, tigers, lions, kangaroos and polar bears needed to be moved into secure locked quarters inside as soon as the air raid siren sounded. I mean, you don't think about these things.
Horrific.
Unbelievable.
Awful.
So in this memoir, June chronicles the heartbreak, the humour, the trials and triumphs and the characters, both human and animal, who shaped her childhood.
Was this made into a series?
Yes, it
Because
was.
I've
There was
watched
a
the
TV
series. It's fantastic.
Is it?
I watched it when I was younger, yeah.
Yeah,
It's so
Our
good.
Zoo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a series. So yeah, amazing
Very
stories.
so heartfelt.
Yeah.
Really, and so many things to think about, as you say, that like the
Definitely.
war and everything.
And imagine growing up like with these animals.
And not
like, as your
realising that everyone
friends.
didn't do that.
Yes, exactly. Your childhood is just your childhood. You assume everyone's going through the
It's the
same
same.
thing. Just gorgeous. So I thought I'd look up a couple of novels as well. One is called The Great Zoo of China by Matthew O'Reilly. So listen to this. This is how the book is described. It is a secret the Chinese government has been keeping for 40 years. They found a species of animal no one believed even existed. It will amaze the world. Now the Chinese are ready to unveil their astonishing discovery within the greatest zoo ever constructed. A small group of VIPs and journalists has been brought to the zoo deep within China to see its fabulous creations for the first time. Among them is C.J. Cameron, a writer for National Geographic and an expert on reptiles. The visitors are assured by their Chinese hosts that they will be struck with wonder at these beasts and that they are perfectly safe and that nothing can go wrong. Of course it can't. Get ready for action on a gigantic scale.
That sounds like a
fun.
Do we have to
Doesn't it?
tune in next week for more?
I know, exactly.
I know.
Have to read the book. That sounds great though, doesn't it?
It does.
Really exciting. And finally, The Tower, the Zoo and the Tortoise by Julie Stewart. Now this one, if you look at the front cover, you assume it's a children's book. And also with the title, you'd think it's a children's book. But you hear the description and it's not a children's book. This is about Balthazar Jones, who has lived in the Tower of London with his wife and his 120-year-old pet tortoise for the past 8 years. Among the eccentric characters who call the Tower's maze of ancient buildings and spiral staircases home are the Tower's rack and ruin barmaid, Ruby Daw, who just found out she's pregnant, portly Valerie Jennings, who is falling for ticket inspector Arthur Catnip, the lifelong bachelor, Reverend Septimus Drew, who secretly pens a series of principled erotica, and the philandering Raven Master, aiming to avenge the death of one of his insufferable ravens. When Balthazar is tasked with setting up an elaborate menagerie within the tower walls to house the many exotic animals gifted to the Queen, life at the tower gets all the more interesting. Penguins escape, giraffes are stolen, and the Komodo dragon sends innocent people running for their lives. Balthazar is in charge, and things are not exactly running smoothly. Filled with humour and heart, this wholly original novel and its irresistible characters will stay with you long after you turn the final page.
That does sound exciting.
That sounds
And
great,
not like a
doesn't
children's book, but definitely
Really
exciting.
really fun.
There's quite a few side stories in that book.
Yeah, it definitely is, isn't
So
there?
yeah, books about zoos
A
sound
nice
really
selection.
good.
Very
Definitely.
nice
Well done,
selection.
Hannah. She loved them all.
Have you heard of ZeroHero? Well, I'll tell you. ZeroHero is a community initiative that rewards designated drivers with free soft drinks. Every single one of our venues gets special branding, including this sticker which has a QR code which will lead you straight to our website. The ZeroHero project is in collaboration with the Linea Directa Road Safety Foundation. So whether you're a customer who goes to wonderful restaurants or a restaurant who serves wonderful people, this is definitely something for you. Go to our ZeroHero.es website to find out more.
Make my day. Make my day. Make my day. Make my day.
The Spanish National Police have made a warning regarding scams. So I thought it would make sense for us to just pass the information along. If you're looking last minute to now come to Spain on holiday, it's very easy to fall into a scam.
Yeah.
You're in a hurry, you're looking for a good deal, which at this time of the year is not going to be likely.
No.
So let's start from that point of view. So if you're suddenly seeing that there's an opportunity to rent a hotel, well, an Airbnb, it would be more of these independent apartments, last minute with a really, really good price. First of all, that is a red flag.
Yeah.
Because anyone at last minute will be putting the prices up to make the most of demand, supply and demand.
Yeah, yeah.
If you then are pushed to make a full payment quickly, it's another red flag.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it would make sense, I suppose, if you're looking to go, okay, but I want the payment, otherwise you can't have it, and you send it. But really, anything that looks too good to be true and you're thinking, oh my God, we're so lucky, you're probably going to be scammed.
Yeah.
I think always try and speak to someone on the phone. Again, there can be that it could still be a scam, but I think that's
Some
a
kind of
good sign,
personal
yeah.
contact. If people say we're not there, we're in another country and it's hard for us to make anything that looks like it's making it difficult is because there's nothing there. People tend to even rent out properties that aren't even theirs.
That don't exist.
They don't either don't exist or they just don't belong to them, and they steal photographs online and they share them. So there really is, I mean, there's some clever people out there.
Scams in general really upset me because, you know, that they go after people who are vulnerable and, you know, particularly older people, and it really upsets me. So as well as the property scams, just any scam in general, before you give anyone any kind of bank information or before you start transferring money to anyone, just make sure you feel 100% confident who you're giving that money to. If you're not sure, ask a friend, a neighbor, whoever, just to say, can you take a look at this for me? I'm not sure, because people are getting emails from big companies that look like big banks or big parcel sending companies that says, oh, click on this link in order to collect your parcel. And if, like me, you buy a lot of stuff online, you can easily think, oh yes, I am expecting a parcel, and click on the link and it's a scam or a virus or things like that. So just be really careful in general of clicking on links, opening attachments. Don't send your money to anyone, any company, unless you're 100% sure of where it's going.
Never let anyone, as you talk about bank details, I know a lady who was contacted saying that there was a scam on her Amazon account. As she has an Amazon account, she bought into that. They then got her to download basically, there's a program you can download that allows someone else to look in your computer. She even downloaded, I think it's TeamViewer, she even downloaded that. She opened up her bank account while they were online. And it was only because she was going to a luncheon that she said, oh, I have to get back to you later, and closed everything off. When she told me that she was lucky that she nearly got scammed, I realized that the scam was that, not that the Amazon. And we then went and cancelled all her credit cards. We spoke to the bank. But it's very easy to be taken in, particularly as you get older.
Exactly.
You know, because I don't know why, but it is you're just not expecting it. And the police were also warning about tour guides, in the sense of you can book a tour or a bus trip. That could be fake. Make sure it's a real tour agent, that they actually exist.
Something that you can do with anything, any company, any email you get, is Google whether it's a scam or not. So Google the email address.
I've done that before.
Say I've had just put into ChatGPT, whatever, or Google, and say, I've had an email from this email address asking for money for this. Is it a scam? And loads of stuff will come up with people saying, oh yes, I've had that before. Don't click on the link. Always check. If you don't have someone that you can rely on to ask online.
Exactly.
And there will be
I do that even
out
with
there.
phone numbers. Sometimes I get a strange phone number. I copy the number and I put it in Google and say, please, can you see if this is a scam number?
It's really worth checking. There's no harm in checking, certainly before transferring
even
any
emails
money.
that come from Facebook. We've noticed you've got
Any
this
big
problem.
company.
They're normally scams. That one surprised me. It was only because I asked Dad Josh when one came in thinking it was real. He's like, don't touch it. Absolute scam. But it looked like it was real. It looked like it was a Facebook thing that came into the email that I have associated with that account.
I think, as you imagine, with the advancement of technology, the scams are getting better and better.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the problem though, isn't it? Now sometimes you don't even realise, like it just seems so real.
I get loads of messages that are from my children.
Really?
So do I.
Lost my phone using a friend.
Miguel's children or your children?
My children.
The thing is, like, you know that's a scam.
Luckily,
But with me having children, and it's like when it says
asking for money.
Asking for money, lost my phone, and all my friends, borrowing my friends' phones.
Horrible.
Can you send me money? Can you do this? If their message is in Spanish, and my children don't message me in Spanish. I mean, my son could, but it wouldn't be the norm. But no, it's very difficult to even know where the things are coming from.
The line is,
when in doubt, do nothing.
Yes.
Don't send anything. If there's pressure, must be done quickly. Even when you do business meetings and things like that. If anyone is pushing you and pressuring you, then there's something wrong and you need to just hold back and
This is the
get
thing.
advice.
If it was in person, you wouldn't let yourself be pressured. So why let
I
an
don't know.
online-
I
Well,
don't know.
true,
I've
true,
actually
true.
heard a few things that people can be pushed into signing things because they're so pressured. You get 3 against 1.
Yeah.
True.
And you could be at that moment, you could just be overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think that's what it is though, isn't it? You feel that pressure and you do, like, it's almost like you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. So you're like, oh, okay. So it's like, it's just
Well,
so,
actually,
so
just
quick.
as an aside, talking about in person, I had somebody come to my home that I'd arranged to meet out of the house, but they knew that where I lived, and they appeared at the front door. And I mentioned this with Lily. I'm a grown-up woman and I'm very capable. And this person came and said, oh, well, I thought instead of going there, that I could just meet you here. And I just stood there and I thought, well, they have been here once before. They came and looked at the electricity. I suppose, and all this is going on in my head. And before I know it, this person is in my home. And I'm asking myself, why are we so polite? All I should have said was, we arranged to meet there. I will meet you there. Goodbye.
Yeah.
And yet our politeness, I don't know what it is, but it's something that is very dangerous, and everything was fine. And within a few minutes, I managed to get myself together. I said, okay, but you must leave now, and ushered them out the door. But they were in before I even realised it. And it's, I think, a lot of our education, we're brought up to be
polite.
Be polite.
Need them. More important than politeness is feeling safe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
But
the most
I knew it was wrong. But the whole time I was processing. I don't want this person in there. This person should be, well, they've been in before, they came to the electricity, I suppose it's okay. But I already knew that it wasn't right. And yet I didn't take that step because, well, don't want to be offensive, don't want to be rude.
Don't you?
Be rude.
Yes, absolutely.
Be rude and ask for forgiveness afterwards if necessary.
Exactly.
And can I just add a little bit on the property scams, just because mostly for young people as well. Obviously Spain is super busy at this time of year, but it's also festival season. And I went to Madrid recently for a concert and there were loads of scams because suddenly everyone's in that spot. So be really wary if you are going to a concert or a festival because there's young people being stranded because they arrive and land in places and they don't have a property to stay in.
I mean, in theory, on the Airbnb and those type of pages, they now have to have registration numbers if you're allowed to offer your property. So that would be a good place to start. Make sure it has some kind of registration number. I'll say it's
and it's good to have these things. You know, people who own rental properties in Spain, when all these new legislations were being brought in, were thinking, oh, for goodness sake, you know, it's hassle having to get more paperwork and all this kind of thing to get properly registered. But actually, it's a good thing because for the person renting out, they can prove that they're legitimate. And for the people renting, they can feel safer knowing that they're going to a proper place. So yes, it might be a bit of hassle, but it's good for everybody at the end of the day.
It really is. And I think, as you say at the beginning, it was like, oh, gosh.
More
But
stuff.
in retrospect, it does make sense for everybody's benefit. A little bit of paperwork protects everybody.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Exactly.
Okay. Be careful. Linea Directa appreciates just how important our pets are to us, and that's why they brought out one of the most comprehensive insurance policies on the market from just €39.90 a year. Give them a call on 952 147834 or from the website lineadirecta.com. We thought we'd make a quick mention dedicated to the Spanish persiana, the blind. Quite something unique, I think, for most people around the world who've come to Spain to see these blinds that give you complete pitch black darkness. I mean, absolutely, these blinds are down, and you will often see these blinds are down during the day, but that is because they are just perfect to protect from the heat. And this is why they are fundamental. And then at night time, you can have your persianas down with your windows open because you can either have them really, really closed or you can leave slightly open that leaves little holes between them because they are then designed that they are down 100% so you are safe. But then you have the little bits of the air that can come through to give you, you know, a little bit of breathing.
Exactly.
I think it's the best invention in the
It's
world.
such a
I don't know
clever
why
idea.
everyone doesn't have them. How do people sleep without them? When I was in the UK, I missed them so much because I just needed my pitch black blinds.
So I don't like curtains or anything. I like to wake up with the natural light.
you're like
absolutely.
me.
I don't like curtains. And
So the Spanish grandmothers, the abuelos, the normal thing to do apparently, 8 o'clock in the morning, the persianas all go up and the windows and the doors are open and all the fresh air is coming through. But by like 11 o'clock a.m., all down. So
exactly. I mean, if you live in where the sun rises, you have those blinds down all morning, and if you live where the sun sets, you have them closed all afternoon. And it's curious because obviously the Spanish houses can be quite dark, and it's going to be kind of depressing because they have no natural light coming in because they need that protection from the sun. But they are very safe. It's not easy to get a Spanish blind that's down and to lift that thing up.
No.
So they really are a good
security. If you're going away, always bring them down.
Exactly. When you leave the house, make sure your blinds are 100% down because that is a good safety added protection.
100%.
It's good to have the mosquito doors as well. They're really handy. That enables you to have the persianas up a bit without worrying about mosquitoes running in and out. If you've got the mosquito
I'm actually looking now to get
protections.
the one that, because you have the sliding doors. They now have the little mosquito nets. You can leave it open a bit and then have them fitted. So I'm now measuring up to see to get one of them.
Really good.
Because mosquitoes are a pain.
Yes,
Yeah.
no, it's great to have those mosquito doors, definitely. It
Yeah.
makes a big difference. And it enables you to keep it open so you've got the air coming in and out if you don't need to worry about mosquitoes.
I know.
So anyway, be careful with the mosquitoes, protect yourselves, and remember, if you have persianas, this is a good thing. Use them wisely.
Make my day. Make my day.
We hope you found the program informative and fun. Do pop along to our website, goodmorningspain.com. You'll find fabulous articles following up on topics discussed, links to our social media and our YouTube channel. We love having you with us. Have a great week. Bye for now.
Bye.
Oh,